10 toes behind Jesus. 10 toes behind Jesus. 10 toes behind Jesus. I started 10 toes. You know how it go. Used to have waves, now I wear a big nappy fro. Then I fell down. Couldn't believe it until I stood up 10 toes behind Jesus.
What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode on 10 Toes Behind Jesus podcast. My name is Britley, and I'm so happy you guys are here. I'm excited about this podcast episode because it's something that I know a lot of people can relate to. The title is, Why is it so much easier for everyone else? That's something that I've thought plenty of times, and I'm here to tell you that it's not easier for anybody else. That's just your perspective and how you're looking at it. But before we get started in this video, check out 10toesbehindjesus.com. Cop some merch, some gear. All proceeds go to missions and the upbuilding of God's kingdom. So let's do that. And without even spending a single dollar, you can share, like, comment, retweet, whatever. That also helps the cause as well. So without further ado, let's get started with this video. So I wanted to give you a little background and kind of share a story on what helped me to not think, why is this so much easier for everybody else? That is a trick from the enemy to make you feel bad about yourself, to make you doubt God, make you think that God doesn't hear you, God isn't listening to you, God doesn't see what's going on in your life and with your current situation. So, so hopefully this story kind of will help you and encourage you to definitely change your perspective and start trusting God and knowing that it's not easy for anybody else. Everybody struggles, everybody goes through things. I know it's social media, it makes it difficult, and you got to do things that will help you. If you're someone who looks at social media, looks at everybody's life and makes you, get anxiety, feel bad, you may need to take a break from time to time from it. But, okay, so kind of went on a whole spiel there, but I ran track all of my life. This is the first year that I've not been running track since, third grade. And so my event was hurdles. I got a full scholarship to LSU for the short hurdles, so I'll start the story off with as a short hurdler. There's short hurdles, which is 100 meters, and then there's long hurdles, which is 400 meters. So the short hurdles is like a full-out sprint, as fast as you can go. The 100 meters, you have to have endurance. They say it's the hardest race in track and field because, first of all, you're running like a full lap. And it's basically kind of like a sprint too, but it's not as fast as the shorter race. And obviously you're not going to burn out for something shorter. But the 400 hurdles, super hard race. But growing up, as far as the state of Alabama, I don't believe I've ever lost a hurdle race. Now, when I was in 7th and 8th grade, I ran on the varsity and I lost. Yeah, I lost there. But I'll just say for my age group, never lost a race in the state of Alabama. And so people would, you would think a lot of people would get big-headed and, be cocky and this and that. But what has always kept me so humble is at the end of every year, I would leave the state and go compete on the national level. And I would never win. I've never won on the national level ever. So, every year I'm winning all Alabama and all this. And in the back of my head, I'm like, I'm winning here, but I need to get ready for nationals because that's when, the competition will really rise. So, I would look at some of the girls who, some of them there was one girl that would win every single year. And sometimes I'll look at her and be like, gosh, it just seems like it's so easy for her. She wins every year. I'm working so hard and I've never won. I don't even think I've ever gotten second. One year I got third. This is all before college. But, it wasn't really, it didn't harp on me that bad. I still was like, super grateful, super thankful. and, you know, like in my own lane, competitive, all that. So when I got to college, I noticed that a lot of those same girls were getting faster. And me, it's like I always was still just, you know, it's like I would make the finals, but I would never win. Or I would make it to nationals, but I would never like get top 3, you know, something. So I just, you know, look, then when I went to my sophomore year, you know, freshmen would come in, and my freshman year was really, really tough in college. I did not run well at all. So, you know, the next year, freshmen would come in and be beating me, running faster times, and I'm like, golly, it's like all my hard work. It's like, where's the results from my hard work? You know, it just seems like it's so much easier for everyone else. Someone comes in, goes through the same thing I went through, changed the whole program, works hard, but it works for them. It didn't work for me. So all those things, you know, make me be like, I still would work hard, still believe God, still trusted God, but in the back of my mind, I just would feel like, in a way, it's not fair. And if I'm being completely honest, it's like, it's just not fair. I'm working hard. I'm even doing extra, you know, they're cruising in practice, poor attitude, not trying to work on like their healthy eating or anything. And then here I am trying to do all the right things, and it just seems so much harder. So this leads me to my junior year. So we are close to championship season. So championship season is considered different than the regular season because you'll have SEC championships, then the regional meet, which qualifies you for the national championships. So we're approaching that season, which is like the real, like, okay, now everything you done was like, but now this really matters. So as we get close, my coach tells me, hey, I need you to do 400 hurdles for the SEC championships because it's not as competitive as the other events. Now, and he was like, now I'm not saying I want you to win because, you know, you haven't practiced it all year. That's not even your event. But he was like, I believe that you can do enough to like make the finals and get some points. And in my head, I was like, oh yeah, like I definitely like believe that I can make the finals because that the 400 hurdles is an event where not a lot of people are in. Now, as far as like first place, second place, like those times are blazing. First, second, third, fourth, those times are blazing. But then kind of fifth, sixth, seventh, it's just not that many people. So I was like, oh yeah, I definitely can like get top 8. And, you know, the year before, I remember feeling like we lost the SEC championships by 2 points, and I could have done so much to help my team and get those 2 points. So when he asked me that, I was like, look, I still feel like I got something to prove from last year. So if this is going to help the team win, like, I don't care if it's the hardest event in track, like, I'm willing to do it. So, of course, he wants me to run before that meet, and I do too. I mean, you're going from 0 to 100. And I have ran 400 hurdles before, but for this year, I consider myself like, no, we're not doing it. So I didn't do any fall training work. I stayed with a short sprinters group, no endurance work, no nothing. But I'm like, I can run prelims, finals. Like, I can do prelims and finals, get top 8, and probably try to get some points, right? So the meet before SECs, I feel like I ran it 2 times before the SEC championships, but I'll just go like my first time. So usually for 400 hurdlers, they want to run at least 5 to 6 times before postseason. So I'm coming in it with 2 times. But my first time going into the SEC meet, my first race doing it, I run a time that puts me 11th in the country in that event. So as soon as I cross the line, I know I'm definitely continuing to do this event after SECs. Like, in my head, I was like, I'm just going to do SECs, like, get some points, then we back to, like, my routine. But I was like, nope, I'm definitely stuck here. And then I go to my coach, and he was like, you know you stuck here, right? And I'm like, yeah, I know I'm stuck here. I know I'm stuck here. Anyway, we go on to SEC championships, and really none of the other girls in the event, like, know who I am because they're like, you know, she hadn't been doing this all year, like, whatever. And it's funny because before that week, I was talking to one of my older teammates that she graduated. I think my freshman year, she was a senior. And so she was laughing. She was like, Brittany, what if you go to SECs and win? Like, being like, basically like, it's not going to happen. But kind of like, it would be funny because, you know, she's like, you hadn't even done it all year. Like, you just kind of throwing in there. Like, what if you go there and win? So, okay, so the SEC meet, right? I run prelims, and I think I have this, that my prelim put me at the second or third fastest time in the whole meet. And everyone was like, whoa. Like, first of all, because everyone's like, where did you come from? Like, you're a short hurdler, you know? Like, where did you come from? All this stuff. Anyway, I end up placing second at SECs that year, which is a huge accomplishment. And it was just, you know, I was like, wow. Like, I was so happy because I didn't win, but I've never come close. Like, I've never come close. I've never been one, like, my freshman year, I would look at people that, you know, they would highlight on the screen for, you know, because I watched all the meets and, you know, I was competing in them. And I would look at myself like, it would be so cool if I was one of those people. But I was like, I don't know if I'll get there. I was like, it would be cool to. And so I literally saw before my eyes me become one of those people. And then we go on to nationals. And so SECs, cool, cute, but nationals, that's like, if you make it to the finals of nationals, you're an All-American. Like, you've had a great, phenomenal season, like probably the best season, right? I end up placing third at nationals, third in the country, right? Huge accomplishment, big accomplishment. I'm going back, I'm watching on TV, and I noticed that I'm literally like getting emotional. That was crazy. But I noticed that I'm one of the people on the finals day, the reporter like highlights me. And that was like a full circle moment. Like, wow. I sat back and watched kind of like everyone, you know, do their thing. Everyone does that. And then here I am like being the one highlighted before the race. And they highlight the people that like they pretty much like expect to win or get second or third. Like, you know, they don't highlight everyone in the heat. So her highlighted, and I remember her saying that she talked to my head coach, and what was so surprising is that he threw her in to score points at SECs and ran so well that she ended up like this became her event, and she had nationals with it. So I'm going through this whole story to say that I got third nationals, and so many people were kind of just like, wow, you just were thrown in this event, did so well. You didn't train for it all year like everyone else. And then it made me think of people that literally this has been their event their whole life. Like, I consider the short hurdles my event my whole life. This has been their event their whole life, and they've never even made it to nationals. They've never even placed, never even this. And so I was able to look out and think, some people are probably looking at me thinking, wow, it's so much easier for her. Wow, I've been doing this my whole life, and here goes somebody that just hops in it and has success. It's so much easier for her. So I'm saying all of this to say that while you're looking at somebody else's life or somebody else's situation and thinking it's so much easier for them, someone is looking at you and saying, wow, it's so much easier for her. It's so much easier for him. So I want you all to really like, my biggest thing to take away from this is it's all about your perspective. Because the same way all those years I sat up and said it's so much easier for them, they don't even try and do this is that, all this. I became one of those people to say, wow, people are looking at me saying the same thing. It's so easy for her. And that isn't even close to the truth. That isn't even close to the truth. Nothing came easy. Like, nothing. And sometimes God will bless you in a way, and you don't even realize how good and how big the blessing is because what all you went through to get there. And so that's what I love about God. Like, he keeps you so humble. Like, people who like think so highly of them get the bigger. I genuinely do not understand because I'm like, I know you've been through something, you know? So there should never be a point where you feel like, oh, I made it, I'm this, I'm that, because the journey to get there, that alone should humble you. And even me right now, like currently in the season that I'm in, I'm feeling like, you know, overwhelmed, exhausted, tired, so busy. And I'm realizing like God is blessing me like with so much right now. So much. But he also is keeping me busy, keeping me humble because he knows if I'm able to get, you know, prideful and not humble, where that could take me. So like God is amazing. I just wanted to share that with you. I hope that encourages you all to really like change that mindset and change your perspective and start to like understand like what God is doing right now in your life and why. Now, sometimes you may not always understand in the moment, but just look back at previous situations. You probably never even like analyzed what happened in the last situation. You just moved on. But yeah, that's all for this episode. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe to this channel. Follow us on Instagram. And I hope you guys have a great rest of the week. And don't forget to stay 10 toes behind Jesus because you know he's 10 toes behind you. See y'all next time. Bye.